The cinnamon-scented candle on my aunt's perfectly set Christmas table was doing nothing to mask the underlying smell of desperation. I pushed my green bean casserole around my plate, the weight of my grandmother's pearl necklace, the only piece of jewelry they hadn't managed to safeguard, yet a cool, comforting presence against my collarbone. It was my anchor in the churning sea of my family's performative holiday cheer. "So, Elara," my Uncle Robert boomed, slicing into the ham with unnecessary force. "Any progress on the job hunt?" "Still doing that, what was it? Freelance data entry," he said. "Freelance data entry, the way one might say communicable skin disease." I kept my eyes on my plate. "Something like that," I murmured. "It's just not stable, sweetheart," my mother chimed in, her voice a symphony of concern crafted for the audience of relatives. "With the inheritance finally settling next month, you'll need proper financial guidance. We've been talking, and we think it's best if we help you manage it. A lump sum like $3 million, for someone so inexperienced, it's a magnet for trouble." There it was, the first overt move on the board. The $3 million from Gran's estate, the one she'd left solely to me, her dreamer with both feet on the ground. The money that had transformed my family's polite neglect into a coordinated siege. My brother Ethan leaned forward, his smile not reaching his eyes. "Mom's right, Elle. Remember that business you tried to start in college? The handmade soap that gave Dad a rash. We just want to protect you. We could set up a modest trust, cover your rent, and give you a reasonable allowance." The room watched, a jury already convinced. My cousin Sarah fiddled with her new diamond tennis bracelet, probably already calculating her cut. I felt a familiar, cold fury solidify in my stomach. They saw me as the quiet, fragile one, the one who buried herself in books and code, the easy target. "Gran left the money to me," I said, my voice quieter than I intended. "She trusted me with it. Gran was sentimental in her old age," my father said, not unkindly, which somehow made it worse. "She didn't understand the complexities of modern finance." We've already spoken to Lawyer Grayson. He agrees a family-managed fund is the most prudent course. The betrayal stole my breath. Mr. Grayson had been Gran's attorney for 40 years. I'd trusted him. I looked around the table at their faces, etched with a mix of faux pity and naked greed. The inheritance wasn't just money to them. It was a pool of resources they felt entitled to drain, leaving me with the empty basin of their approval. I was about to stand, to flee to the hushed silence of the snowy backyard, when the doorbell chimed, a cheerful alien sound in the tense dining room. "Who on earth could that be on Christmas Day?" my mother sighed, dabbing her mouth with a napkin. Ethan pushed back his chair. "I'll get it." "Probably carolers looking for a handout." He returned a moment later, but his smug expression had dissolved into one of profound confusion. Behind him, filling the doorway of the formal dining room with an aura of calm, unassailable authority, was a man I knew better than almost anyone, yet who had never set foot in this house. In this life of mine. He was dressed in immaculate dark jeans and a charcoal cashmere sweater under a tailored wool coat, a simple, elegant gift bag in hand. His sharp blue eyes scanned the room, bypassing the gawking relatives, and landed on me. A faint, almost imperceptible smile touched his lips. "Elara," he said, and his voice, the voice I heard almost every day giving incisive, brilliant commands, was a warm baritone that seemed to lower the temperature in the room by 10 degrees. "Sorry to intrude on your family time. I was in the neighborhood, finalizing the Aston merger, and realized I'd never dropped off your Christmas bonus. You left the office so quickly yesterday." My heart hammered against my ribs like a frantic bird. My mouth went dry. "The office." "Mr. Thorne," I breathed, the name a whisper. Recognition flickered in my father's eyes first. James Thorne. The name was a fixture in the Wall Street Journal, on CNBC, in the whispers of Silicon Valley and old money alike. The founder and CEO of Thorne Industries, a quietly monstrous conglomerate that specialized in turning around failing tech companies with ruthless efficiency. He was a ghost, a legend rarely photographed, never giving personal interviews. James Thorne, my father said, rising slowly from his seat, his lawyer's instincts battling sheer awe. It's an honor, sir. I had no idea our Elara works for me, Mr. Thorne finished, gliding into the room as if he owned it. He set the gift bag beside my plate. For the last 3 years. Started as a junior analyst in the Predictive Analytics division. Within a year, she was leading her own team. She developed the Arachne, predictive market algorithm we use for all high-stakes acquisitions. It's why we haven't made a bad bet since 2021. The silence was absolute, broken only by the crackle of the fireplace. I saw the calculations happening behind every pair of widened eyes. Junior analyst, leading a team, an algorithm with a name. But she said she did freelance data entry, my mother whispered, her face pale. Mr. Thorne's eyebrow arched. He looked at me, and I saw genuine amusement in his gaze. Elara, you told them you're a data entry clerk. I found my voice, a spark of defiance igniting in the warmth of his unexpected presence. It's technically not untrue. I do enter data into proprietary systems that predict global market trends. Saying I'm the head of predictive analytics for Thorne Industries tends to invite a lot of questions I don't like to answer at family dinners. Head of, Ethan choked out. Indeed, Mr. Thorne continued, his tone conversational yet dripping with unspoken power. She reports directly to me. Her year-end bonus this year, incidentally, was just shy of $800,000. The gift is just a token. He gestured to the bag. I peeked inside to see a small, black velvet box. Inside rested a vintage Cartier watch, simple, stunning, and worth more than my parents' car. The bonus alone is, my Uncle Robert, the financial guru who'd just been explaining the perils of lump sums to me, looked faint. Well-deserved, Mr. Thorne stated, finality in his voice. Which is why I was so surprised to overhear, as I was waiting at the door, talk of her needing an allowance or protection from her inheritance. He turned his gaze on my father. And the full force of his attention was like a physical weight. A person who negotiates 9-figure deals for my company before breakfast is, I would assume, more than capable of managing a $3 million personal estate. Wouldn't you agree, Mr. Vance, my father, a successful attorney in his own right, seemed to shrink. We were just concerned. We didn't know. You didn't ask, I said, finally standing. The pearl necklace felt like armor now. You never asked what I actually did. You saw the quiet girl coding in her room and assumed I was playing games. You saw Gran's money and saw a child who needed to be controlled. The dam broke. You lied to us, my mother accused, her shock curdling into anger. You smothered me, I fired back, years of compression releasing. Every dream I had was impractical. Every ambition was cute. You wanted a daughter you could parade and then pension off. Gran saw me. She was the only one who ever did. And she left me that money because she knew I had a plan, a life you couldn't even imagine. I looked at Mr. Thorne. Sir, the Aston merger documents are on your private server. The final compliance checks are complete. I can be in the office by 8 tomorrow to brief the board. He nodded, a proud, almost paternal glint in his eye. I never doubted it. He then addressed the room, a king dismissing his court. I'll leave you to your holiday. Elara, take the rest of the day, you've earned it. He gave a curt, inclusive nod and turned to leave. Wait, my father's voice was strained. Mr. Thorne, perhaps we could discuss some potential investments. With Elara's inheritance and your guidance, Thorne paused at the threshold. He didn't even look back. All investment inquiries go through my head of predictive analytics. You can schedule an appointment with her office after the new year. Though, he added, a blade of ice in his tone, I suspect her calendar is quite full. And with that, he was gone, leaving behind a vacuum filled with stunned silence and the ruin of their carefully laid plans. I didn't sit back down. I picked up the gift bag and my grandmother's pearls. I looked at my family, their faces a gallery of shattered assumptions. The greed, the shock, the dawning, horrible realization that the mouse they had been cornering was, in fact, a dragon. My rent, as of January 1st, will be paid from my own account. I said, my voice steady now, echoing in the quiet room. My financial advisor, the one I hired, not the one you colluded with, will be in touch to formally sever the power of attorney you tricked me into signing last year. Don't bother calling Lawyer Grayson. After I forward him the recording I made of this little conversation today, along with my official complaint to the Bar Association. I expect he'll be too busy defending his own license to take your calls. The color drained from my father's face. You recorded this. The data entry pays for excellent tech, I said, tapping the pearl at my throat. It was a lie, but a satisfying one. The truth was, I just learned to always be prepared in this house. Merry Christmas. I walked out of the dining room, through the overlit living room with its perfunctory decorations, and into the crisp, freeing cold of the December evening. The snow crunched under my boots, a clean, honest sound. I didn't look back at the house, a gilded cage whose door had just been blown off its hinges. My phone buzzed in my pocket. A text from James Thorne. James, the watch was your grandmother S. Bought it at auction per your notes on her estate. The bonus is in your account. The look on their faces was your real present. See you at 8 a.m., don't be late. A laugh, sharp and joyous, burst from me, crystallizing in the frigid air. He'd known. Of course he'd known. He'd seen the family photos on my desk, heard the tightness in my voice when I took their calls. He'd done his own kind of predictive analysis and arrived today, not out of mere chance, but as a tactical strike. My secret boss, my unlikely guardian angel in a cashmere sweater. I got into my modest car, the one my family pitied, and started the engine. The quiet hum was the sound of freedom. I wasn't the Vance family's fragile heiress anymore. I was Elara Vance, head of predictive analytics at Thorne Industries, architect of my own fortune, heir to my grandmother's faith, and finally, gloriously, the author of my own life. The road ahead was dark and clear, leading away from the twinkling, false lights of my past, toward the brilliant, demanding skyline of my future. I put the car in drive and didn't glance in the rearview mirror. There was nothing back there I needed to see. Hey everyone, I hope you enjoyed that journey from the suffocating dinner table to the liberating winter night. If you found yourself cheering for Elara to reclaim her power and her narrative, then you're in the right place. This channel is all about stories where hidden strength is revealed, where the underestimated rise, and where comeuppance is served cold, perfect for a snowy Christmas. If that's your kind of story, then do me a huge favor. Hit that like button, it really helps the channel grow. And if you're not already part of our community, subscribe and ring the notification bell. We post new, immersive stories just like this one every single week. I want to know what you thought. What was your favorite moment? Were you as satisfied as I was when James Thorne walked through that door? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single one. Until next time, remember, sometimes the quietest person in the room is the one running the show. Keep dreaming, keep scheming, and I'll see you in the next story.